This video is brought to you by Longvidon. Today I want to share with you how I use my Apple Watch every day, how it benefits me, and why I think you should try one too. I will also talk about the different Apple Watch models currently available and which is best for who. As always, I will leave all the purchase links below the like button. Without further ado, let's get started. So first, receiving important notifications right on the wrist is great. The Apple Watch has really good haptic feedback, and this is the vibration that you feel whenever a notification comes in. This almost feels like a subtle tap on the wrist. Noticeable, but also not distracting to others, so no need for a loud ding sound coming from your phone. You can then glance to see the message, reminders, emails, or even take calls. My advice here though is to only allow important notifications coming into your watch. Think for example calls or messaging apps, but not notifications from games or shopping apps. And this can all be customized in the excellent Watch app that comes pre-installed on your iPhone. If you want to learn more about the Apple Watch app on iPhone, then I'll leave my full Apple Watch guide video in the description. And this way, when a notification comes in, I know it is something important. But what can you do with a notification once it arrives? Well, if it's a reminder, you can mark it as complete, or if it's a call, you can answer the call right on the watch. Now, if it's a message, the options will depend on which Apple Watch model you have. For example, the Series 3 and Apple Watch SE let you select from a list of preset responses, or use emojis, which is great for a quick response. But I prefer to dictate text, and this works really well, accurately detecting and spelling words even in noisier environments, like when I'm walking outside next to traffic with wind blowing and other people talking around me. However, my favorite way to respond to a message is with the keyboard right on the display. Now, this feature is exclusive to the Apple Watch Series 7. Now, it may look comically small, and that's because, well, it is, but it is actually quite usable. It does take a bit of getting used to, but I can now easily type out a sentence or two right on my Apple Watch. So to recap, you can receive and view notifications on all current Apple Watch models. However, only on the Series 7 do you get that on-screen keyboard. In addition, the larger display and thinner bezels on the Series 7 mean that content like text is not only bigger, but you can also view more at a time. Since the original Apple Watch, the design hasn't changed much, and that is because it is functional and good looking. I especially like how the design is unisex, and with the two screen options, you can really find the right size depending on the size of your wrist. All my Apple Watches have been these smaller variants, the 40mm SE and the 41mm Series 7. For my 155mm wrists, the smaller version looks most proportionate. A big part of the Apple Watch is the watch band mechanism. The band you choose sets the tone. Apple have used the same sliding mechanism for years, and this means there are many first as well as third-party bands to choose from. And this means you can really personalize your Apple Watch to either match your outfit, occasion, or activity. The standard silicone band that the Apple Watch comes with is a good place to start, but is also nothing special. To set your Apple Watch apart and take it to the next level, let me introduce you to the Men's Classic Series full grain leather bands from Longvidon. Longvidon make a range of carefully crafted Apple Watch bands and accessories. Right from the unboxing experience, I can tell that these are no ordinary Apple Watch bands. Opening the box reveals the full grain leather bands inside, underneath which we find the owner's manual with care instructions. Right away, holding the bands in my hands, I can tell that they feel really good to the touch, and I especially like these polished black touches on the buckles, which will perfectly pair with the Midnight Series 7 as well as the Space Gray SE. Attaching the watch band uses of course that same sliding mechanism, so only takes seconds to install, and then in a matter of seconds your Apple Watch has been upgraded to a more sophisticated timepiece. The outside of the band is made from this French full-grain bovine leather, which looks stunning. On the inside is a suede leather which feels super soft and comfortable all day on the wrist. This leather band for the Apple Watch pairs perfectly with a suit or any smart casual outfit. I wear it both to the office as well as when I'm out on the weekends or even just day to day. Perfect for any occasion. The band uses a sturdy butterfly clasp, which allows you to easily take the watch on and off without having to find the right size every time. Another pleasant thing that stood out to me with these bands from Longvidon in particular is that they are made to perfectly pair depending on which size Apple Watch you have. I found with some other Apple Watch bands, they use the same size band regardless of which Apple Watch size you have, and this would sometimes lead to the band looking too big on the smaller watch display. But this is not the case here. As you can see, the band fits proportionately and is made to size for my 41mm Series 7. When ordering online, you can choose the size Apple Watch you have as well as your wrist size to find the perfect fit. Longvidon has an extensive range of options from different colors and materials. If you want to transform and upgrade your Apple Watch, be sure to head to longvidon/Dion and use code Dion15 to get 15% off your order. On the topic of customization, Apple has a series of watch faces to suit your style. Some are more simple and plain, while others use complications, which are essentially mini widgets for your watch display to show more information. Personally, I love using complications on my Apple Watch. For example, having the temperature, activity rings, and shortcuts to apps such as voice memos all right on the watch face. All of this can be set up and customized in the Excellent Watch app or even right on the Apple Watch itself. Speaking of the watch face, one of the biggest differentiating factors between the Series 7, SE, and Series 3 is that the Series 7 has that always-on display, and this is actually my favorite feature of this watch. This is not only functional as it lets you check the time more subtly without having to turn your wrist or tap the display, it also looks good to simply have the watch face on the screen at all times. And this, I think, really is a compelling reason to go for the Series 7 rather than the SE or Series 3. The words Apple and ecosystem go hand in hand. Over the years, Apple has created a level of cross-device integration unlike any other. Does this make it harder to leave Apple and go to a different company? Well, yes. But it also brings some unique features. For example, with your Apple Watch, you can now unlock your iPhone even whilst wearing a face mask. The Apple Watch can also unlock your Mac automatically when it detects you are near your Mac, and then will also lock it when you are away. I use the 14-inch MacBook Pro, and having Touch ID is great, but having the Apple Watch is even better. It's a truly hands-free experience. Also, having Apple Pay on the Apple Watch is fantastic. Here in London, I use it every day to quickly tap in and out of transportation, as well as to pay for things like coffee or groceries. No need to reach for your wallet or even your phone. Speaking of which, if you ever lose your phone, you're able to quickly ping it right from the Apple Watch. And this is a useful feature to have that I've used more than I'd like to admit. The Apple Watch comes in a cellular and non-cellular version. The cellular version can be used entirely independently from your phone. But even with the non-cellular version, like I have here, you can store media such as music and photos. On my Apple Watch, I store some recent music that I can then listen to wirelessly with my AirPods, and this is especially great when working out or going for walks, not needing my phone. If you use Siri on your iPhone or Mac, having it on your wrist is even better. I like to use reminders in particular to quickly take note of an idea. Oftentimes this happens when I'm busy doing something else, either on my way to somewhere or running errands. I can then simply say, remind me tonight to brainstorm video idea about why you should try an Apple Watch. Quick and easy. I also use Siri for asking for the temperature, doing a calculation, or for a currency conversion. When using Siri on the Apple Watch, I do suggest disabling Hey Siri. While this is a nice feature, it does mean that the microphones are going to be listening 24/7 for that activation phrase, and this will take significant battery over time. Instead, I suggest activating Siri by press and holding on the digital crown. Maps 2 is great on the Apple Watch. Receiving turn-by-turn directions right on the wrist is perfect when walking or biking. Again, not having to take out your phone and take yourself out of your activity. And then there's activity rings. Essentially, these are 3 rings, one for stand, exercise, and move, which will gradually fill up throughout the day. I find it satisfying to complete these rings as much as possible throughout the day. When it comes to the health features on the Apple Watch, particularly the Series 7, I won't say I use them to their full extent, but it is reassuring to know that my watch is constantly monitoring and keeping track of my heart rate and rhythm in the background. All the data syncs and can be seen right on the Health app on your iPhone. All Apple Watch models have the ability to continuously monitor your heart rate. However, the SE and Series 7 have a newer, more accurate heart rate sensor, and then the Series 7 takes it even further by adding the ability to take an ECG as well as measure your blood oxygen. Something that is always important to me is battery life, and I'm pleased to say that in my testing and owning all current Apple Watch models, the Series 3, SE, and Series 7 all have all-day battery life. As for which model to go for, my advice is this. The Apple Watch SE is great for first-time buyers as it has all the core Apple Watch features, while the Series 7 provides the best of the best smartwatch experience with an amazing, bigger, always-on display and additional health and sport features. And then finally, the Series 3 gets you the essential Apple Watch features and can be a great value watch if you can find it for around $150. I would not buy this watch new straight from Apple. For more of my thoughts, I have done separate in-depth reviews on each of these models, which I will leave linked in the description along with the purchase links. If by the end of this you're thinking to yourself, I want to give an Apple Watch a try, well then be sure to pair your watch with a band from Long Vidon. These bands transform and upgrade your Apple Watch. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to see more content like this. Take care.